All right. All right, guys. So when we're looking at pivoting our business and we're looking at a strategy that we need, we want to make sure that we're meeting our clients' needs and that we have an ability and a desire to provide those things, that we make a profit, and that we enjoy the life that we create out of this business, right? So right now, what I'm hearing people who are on live with me today say is that people are asking for graduation decor. Most people are asking for yard art or organic decor outdoors. Um, Another one saying balloon yard decor is big and small, and then birthday yard decor. That's great. So here's a question for you. Right now, when those clients call you and they're asking for outdoor decor, are any of you currently offering anything that could also go inside their home? Or are you finding that right now most clients that are contacting you strictly want things for outdoors, or do some of you have requests for things to go inside also? All right, so Laura's saying they're asking for indoors also. Anybody else? All right, so the balloon lady says yes, she offers to build it on framework and have done some for indoor Zoom parties also. Oh, how fun is that? Because think about how our world has changed over the last 2.5 months. We used to be addicted to our phones for sure, but now more than ever, the world is connected through the wonderful world of Zoom and Facebook chats, like everyone's having a Zoom event. So I love that you've been able to match things to both what's going on outdoors and inside. That's wonderful. So party poles, numbers, yard art, oh my. That is what most people are seeing online these days with all of the drive-by graduation events and all the graduation drive-by parties where you've got balloons coming out on the windows of the cars, people holding on to things. People having the displays in their yard to make sure that their graduate or their birthday person feels super special that day. What I have found is sometimes people that I've been working with, they forget to give that add-on of, hey, do you want anything inside? And right now we're gearing up for summer. And when it gets hot and there's even more rainstorms, it can get kind of tricky doing outdoor decor. So I wanted to make sure that you guys were thinking and upselling and figuring out what it is that you want your business to provide. So one of my questions for you guys right now that are on with me live is, when you are on the phone with a client or when they're ordering on your website, do you have things set up where it's kind of just a one-off item that they're just picking up a party pole? Or is it that you're showing them a display of multiple things that can be done in the yard? So I'm going to read a couple of things that people are saying here. So go ahead, and that's my question out for you guys to type in, is do you typically just kind of show off like one parade pole? And I'm calling it a parade pole because that's what I used to think about when we used to do the parade workshops. Are you doing one party pole or one yard stake? Or are you showing them, hey, here's a whole grouping of things that we can do for you? I think about how right here we had an event where we put up 8 party poles that had the animals on it, and then we had the organic over the door, and then also the client had the organic inside also. All right, so I've got a couple people saying that yes, they are getting the request to have both outdoor and indoor. And then for one of the people, they had, it was supposed to be storming, so she was nervous about just having something outside. So they wanted to have something displayed indoors and outdoors. And Tammy's saying that displays are most of her orders. The balloon lady is saying, I created a yard party flyer that has several options. Excellent. All right. And then Laura's saying that maybe she needs more multiple yard flocking photos. And so that you could have ones with the different topiaries. Awesome. Tammy's saying that groupings are popular. Excellent. I've been selling yard poles for graduation and birthdays, and tomorrow I plan to create some packages. Awesome. Way to go, April. All right. And then Tammy is saying that those animal party poles were beautiful. Yeah, that was our office manager, Ginger, who lives in Orlando, or Lake Mary, actually, north of Orlando. She's the one that typically is behind the scenes on the computer talking to all of our high-end clients, keeping them happy and taking care of all the big conventions or corporate events that happen. And so during this time, she's dug in and she's been out putting out things like that, organic, and the animal heads for that, because it was an event that was originally a baby shower that was supposed to be happening indoors at a venue, and then they changed it to a drive-by baby shower, and so she was able to put an organic outside at the door and then up the street. That's wonderful. I'm glad that you liked it. All right, so what I want to talk to you guys about is, it was just brought up by Laura, is about having groupings. Right now, if you are doing decor outdoors, some people have really been wearing themselves down doing one-offs. And what I mean by that is they would just do the number 8, or they would just do a flower, or they would just do a wind waver. I love these amazing neons by Vitalik. People always ask me where these came from. So Vitalik makes the linking balloons, the 5-inch, the 11-inch, the 3-foot, all in neon, plus a bunch of other assortments. And what I found from my experience here in Florida is I put this outside and it lasted and looked really good for 3 days. And then it started popping on me. So the neons really seem to look vibrant outside. I'm so used to using neons with the LED lighting and or the UV lighting, and I love the way they glow. And so what was neat is to see how well they glow outdoors in the sun. So if you're looking for some fun colors, I really like the way they turned out. But I encourage you guys to think about your packages, and then also think about what is it that you can put inside the house. So if the weather is horrible, your client is still happy. So maybe that you propose, hey, let me do the number 8 indoors for you into a marquee, so that your child can take their pictures with it, and then it can be there for the Zoom party, and that you don't have to worry about the balloons popping. So many times our jobs as a balloon professional is to suggest what will work best for that client. And like I said, as the temperatures start to soar and get hotter over the summer, and you start having more rainstorms, wind, and all of that, you as a professional can say, yes, I understand that you love those pictures that you see outdoors. However, we can't guarantee how long those balloons will last. So to give you the best for your birthday boy or girl, let us provide some decor that you bring inside for you to enjoy for a long time. The other little tip that I tell my mastermind members all the time is balloons will pop when exposed to sun, heat, wind, rain, temperature changes, and people. To have the best results, take your photos as soon as we put up the display and keep them in a controlled environment. This way it covers you. You've let your clients know to expect that, hey, the balloons are going to pop. When and where, not sure, but they are going to pop. So you want to make sure that they know that up front, and so they don't have unrealistic expectations of how long those balloons are going to last. So my quick question was, that I forgot on the top, was, do you enjoy working outdoors? So go ahead and type in for me right now and let me know. Do you personally enjoy doing outdoor balloon work? Do you like being out in the heat and worrying about the rain and concerned about if your stakes are going to go into the ground? Laura's like, no. Anybody else? Let me know yes or no of how you personally feel about doing outdoor decor. Not really. Yes and no. I'm flexible and easy breezy. Oh, that's a great personality to be a business owner. Honestly, being able to be flexible. Balloon lady saying not too much. Not my favorite. Nope. I think somebody's telling me that they love working, which is good. It's easier, but brings anxiety thinking about the balloons will pop. Not usually, but getting used to it. Not my favorite. Texas is hot. I typically don't sleep much before those events. Oh my goodness, guys, that's it. So for those of you who are brand new to the balloon industry, what I want to let you know is that not every day is a picture perfect day. Now, this was a picture perfect day. This was years ago when I did an installation for, I think it was like a first or second birthday party. It was this most adorable little girl, probably a second because she was walking. And this was their pool, and then their waterway, the causeway was right out their backyard. And then there was a pergola off to the right that I covered with hot pink voile. It was gorgeous. Windy day to put it up, but it was beautiful out. So this was the picture perfect day, right? But a lot of days in Florida are not so picture perfect. And as soon as we get everything set up, there's a major rainstorm, right? And now the balloons are all wet. And then when it heats up with the sun again, now those balloons have fused together. And now if the wind moves those balloons, they start popping. Or if you try to go in there and you try to make an adjustment to the balloons, they all pop apart and it's a huge headache. So do you know how well your balloons are going to last and live outdoors where you're at? Have you done tests to see like, hey, this is what the sun does to a latex balloon size to this size at this amount of time? Have you ever had clients who were disappointed that the balloons either popped or that they oxidized? And one of the things that I like to do with my clients up front is to make sure that I let them know what to expect. So again, I did that whole phrase of balloons will pop when exposed to sun, heat, weather, temperature changes, and humans. All right, so they know they're going to pop and that I can't guarantee anything. And then I let them know that the latex balloons that we're doing for your college graduation for your son will get a lovely velvet sheen when exposed to sun and heat. So now they know that those balloons, those latex balloons outside, that beautiful sunshine, ombre, rainbow, that it's going to have a lovely velvet sheen after I set it out in the Florida sun. This way, they're not expecting for them to stay bright and shiny. They know there's going to be a velvet sheen there, and it sounds a lot better than oxidation. So again, making sure that I let my clients know up front what to expect helps reduce their disappointment. But oftentimes people really want to have their balloons last for an extended period of time. I just got a comment that they love the words I use. Thanks. That's the thing. We are in the sales business. We are here to provide a service to make our clients feel good and to create this magical memory for their loved ones. And we want to make sure that they know what to expect and that we color a really cool picture for them. So using those words is what I have learned has helped me sell over the years. But what has also happened over the years is sometimes having a disappointed client when the weather does what the weather will do. And when it's windy, that white 3-foot balloon starts to topple over, especially when the blue balloons that were underneath them pop in the sun. So yes, in the Florida sun, typically royal blue or dark blue is not a color that I prefer to use on outdoor jobs, or it's definitely not the color that I put on the top of the arrangement. So what I encourage you guys to do is do these kind of tests. And I purposely had done this test. I wanted to have some pictures for my mastermind people to use for Memorial Day weekend. So I put up the Patriotic several weeks ago and tested it out and then showed them over a couple of days what happened and exactly what I thought would happen, which was that blue died first and then the red started to go down and the white was fine, right? So the other thing that happens is with the wind is if you're doing a lovely foil design like this, I put an orbs on top, and with the wind, it really knocked that sucker off, especially because I was really going more than what I would do for an outdoor design, and that is having an orb on top of a foil flower with a butterfly on top. It looked awesome for the first day. And actually didn't look too bad the second day, but the third day we had some major winds going on, and what was happening, it was pushing it over onto the flower. And so I wanted to capture this picture of how the butterfly flopped. After I took off the orb and the butterfly, this flower actually lasted outdoors for 9 days before the foil started to get all nasty looking. And I'll show you guys those pictures in a minute. So I am reading a question, which was, do you see the same early deflation with double stuffed darker colors? I'm going to be honest with you, Karen. I'm not going to double stuff. It's just not in my nature. Um, so I don't do it. And I know there are some companies that do, but just with the price points that we have things at, I typically don't double stuff my balloons. And I'm also worried that if you double stuff and then one pops and the other one doesn't, how that's going to look. But I do know some people do have some better results when they double stuff every once in a while. But that's just something that I've usually gone like, hey, I'm going for a profitable price with my clients, keeping it economical. And so I'm going to make it where typically I'm going to take a 16-inch latex and then undersize it if it's the darker color to really help it last. So the thing here on the right is the sun and the heat. Here we've got this lovely pink flower that looks beautiful on day one, but on day two, all of the pinks are all shriveled up and gone. All right, so now let's be fair to this poor balloon. It's on a metal mailbox in the Florida sun, and it was getting some major direct heat. But I want to make sure my clients aren't expecting this to last for days and days and days. So I'm setting up with them what to expect. But now as we're getting into the warmer temperatures and the craziness, I want to remind you guys that we grow our balloon businesses by selling what we share. And what that means is whatever you put out on social media, whatever you put out on websites, whatever you're sharing with other people, that's what's going to sell. So if you're not wanting to sell outdoor decor, if you're not wanting to sell yard art, then start showing them other pictures of other things that you can offer for them so that this way, now that's what they're excited about, right? So I'm going to give an example here. Indoor designs. This was why Charlene Duvall, one of my mastermind members and an alumni from our Orlando programs. And she's so sweet. She's in the Cayman Islands. And she's like, Joette, I can't do yard decor in the Cayman Islands. Our ground is too tough. They live on an island. Okay. And she's like, and the temperatures and the heat, she's like, it's just not going to happen. So she's been going gangbusters, making a lot of these wonderful, fun bouquets out of her store. So think about that. She's making these wonderful pictures that she's showing her clients. That's what they're going to want. So instead of showing them a number one out on a yard stake, she's showing them a themed number one with her beautiful balloon bouquets that they can either pick up from the store or that she can deliver to their door. So think about what it is that you can sell indoors. Are you going to do the marquee styles? Are you going to do helium bouquets? Do you want to offer organics? Any of the classic, just basic decor designs from the good old days, basic arches, columns, centerpieces. Think about that, because one of the things that happens in our industry sometimes is like this thing comes up, and for some reason we think we all have to do that one thing over and over again, and we forget that maybe if we educate our clients on the other things that are possible, they'll want to buy those items also. So I'd love to know, is there anybody on with me live today who currently either sells balloon bouquets off of their automation on their website, or they are a contractor for Balloon Planet? Because what's been really exciting for me is several of my friends, one of my best friends in the industry, Belinda Barrier, has been with Balloon Planet a long time and has a lot of people that she's helped sign up with Balloon Planet over the years and supported them. And their numbers have been phenomenal. I was just talking to Gail and Paul from South Florida yesterday, and they were talking about how many bouquet deliveries they've been doing, and their business has just been booming since they opened back up, being able to make those deliveries. And so yeah, so they're saying I sell balloon bouquets through Balloon Planet, and it's been over the top busy. Woo, woo, congratulations. Isn't that exciting? I've heard that from so many people that they're actually doing more Balloon Planet deliveries now than ever. So if anybody who's watching this doesn't know what Balloon Planet is, I encourage you to reach out to Belinda Barrier because she can hook you up and help you out and support you a little bit when you go through them. And what Balloon Planet does is they do a ton of advertising online for all of the major areas. And so now when somebody goes and they put in a zip code where they want to send a balloon bouquet to, and you're in that area, you get the call, you go do the delivery, and they send you the money. And the thing is Balloon Planet has really nice high prices with high profit margins so that you make good money. And it's not only balloon bouquets, but they also sell on their website columns and arches also. So there are times that you can get other decor items. And Kim is saying she's a Balloon Planet partner, and yes, it has been extremely busy. Yay. All right. So one of the questions I had is struggling to manage because of COVID means there's less staff capacity or capability. Any suggestions on that? See if you have any family or friends you can recruit. So can you also have your own business? Yes, Tammy. You do not have to just do Balloon Planet. In fact, that's what it is. You have your own balloon business, and then you sign up for Balloon Planet. The only thing is that you can't take their licensed photos and then try to sell that for cheaper directly through your company. It's totally fine that you sell bouquets and other designs online. It's just you can't replicate the exact Balloon Planet design as your own. So that's where the difference is. So yeah, you always want to have a balloon business to be able to be a partner with them because they want to show that you know what you're doing. Great question. And so if you have other questions about Balloon Planet, I have a whole webinar on it. Blenda Barrier did a webinar a while back, and it gave all the details about that. And I'll be glad to give you guys some more information at the end, because I don't want this to be a commercial for them because they're not a sponsor of the event. I just want to let you know that a lot of people are having great success with that. So the next thing I want to remind you guys about is decor. Yay! The things that we love to do, right? My heart skipped a beat when I got the call to do this during COVID because stay-at-home orders. I had been working at my shop at Party People Events, not my shop, Jonathan Gerber's shop. I am now his marketing manager and help with the store. I had been there 6 days a week. All right. Monday through Saturday, I was working every day at the shop. I was having fun making the displays. I was enjoying talking to potential clients. We had just had a grand opening. We were doing fun decor. And then now I was at home. I was supporting my coaching clients, which I absolutely love, but I was missing having my hands on the balloons more than just doing the yard art displays. And Kim Carpenter called me up and said, my daughter is turning 21 and I want to have a photo shoot for her and make it super special. And I really would like to have this organic arch. So here's the reminder for those of you who are still in areas that are affected by stay-at-home orders and aren't fully out, people are still wanting to have decor for special things. And sometimes we have to think outside the box and remember that there are opportunities out there outside of just the basic birthday drive-by party. This person was turning 21 and wanted something extremely cool. So there are those opportunities available. So don't shut yourself off from them, okay? And as people were talking about earlier, if people call you for outdoor decor, I'm like, oh, I want this beautiful organic outside and da-da-da. You can say, okay, great, we'd be glad to do that. But are you having anything happen inside? Would you like something inside too? And that helps you increase your sales and be able to do some decor where you're not out sweating, all right? So I wanted to show you a couple of foil designs that we had outside during this time period. The one on the right is from Party People Events, setting up at a medical center where they were just wanting to have something festive and nice out. And then on the left, this was my flowers, my tulips before they were affected by the wind. And those tulips actually lasted outdoors for 9 days. And why I took them down on the 9th day is because there had been a huge rainstorm on day number 8 and the paint was starting to chip off of the foils. So again, foil designs like this too are things that you can deliver inside for people, and they will last forever. And they'll be so thrilled that they've got this special thing going on. But if you've never worked with foil balloons before, I encourage you to give it a try and check it out where you're at. Diana Gladden, I'm writing a blog where I'll have more information on it, but she's done tests where she's had foils outside for 3 weeks. And yes, due to the rainstorms and the sun, some of the paint has started to chip off, but the balloons themselves have stayed up and full. So you practice where you're at to see how the balloons will last and offer your clients what you want. While you're going through this process and you're thinking about what is it that I like to do the best and what's going to serve my client's needs. And so let's think about that real quick. What is it that your client wants from you? Why is your client calling you to create balloons? What is it that they actually want to do? I want you guys to comment. What is it that the client's need is when they contact us as balloon professionals? What are your clients looking for? Nobody's going to comment. Y'all are being silent. What's the number one thing your clients are looking for? They simply want to celebrate their person. Yes, Tammy, that's exactly right. They're wanting to create a sense of joy. Karen's on it. Kim said over the top celebrations to make their loved ones feel special is what Mindy said. And Janet saying joy and happiness. Dara saying 30-foot drive-through arches right now. Yes, rock on. That's profit, right? 30-foot drive-through arches, that is profit all day long. So when you look at that people want to mark a special moment, they want to bring joy, and they want to create something special for their loved ones, our job as balloon professionals is to help them make the best decision for that. So when the client says, I want a 30-foot helium-filled drive-through arch, it's our responsible to say, you know what, that's not a good idea. We'll be glad to do that 30-foot arch for you, but we do it air-filled and on frame with really heavy big bases so that it's not going to go down if it happens to rain or be windy that day. We have to educate our client with what's best. And sometimes they're going to ask for something that's not reasonable. And so it's important for us to educate them and then share other alternatives to what they're asking for. And I got it right from Dara, thanks. So as we're going through this process, if you're in a situation right now where you're worn down and you're tired from running around in circles doing all the outdoor decor, number one, congratulations for having income coming in. That's great. And I think we're going to see a trend where more and more people are going to want to continue to have yard decor. I mean, look at it. David Mahoney has been in business over 25 years in Dallas, Texas. And what has his business model been since the day? Balloons every day, where he's helping people celebrate and mark those moments with his large designed yard numbers and other decor for outside people's houses. He obviously had a great business plan that has been really great through COVID when he was able to get back to work to do exactly what he's doing, right? The thing is, some people are not set up to have a full team like David has. And if you want more information about David and Amanda's business, they did do a webinar for me in September for the 5-year anniversary for our webinar. So it's in the mastermind area. It talks about the systems that he has set up. But not everybody has all that staff, because just a minute ago somebody said because of COVID they couldn't have staffing in. So I want you to think back as you're deciding what it is that you're going to provide for your clients. I want you to remember, why do you have a balloon business? Okay? Why do you have a balloon business? If you want to share that thought, you can, you don't have to. But I have a balloon business because back in 2003, my beautiful little daughter, Marley, on the left there, I wanted to be that perfect at-home mom and stay at home with her and develop a decor company. I thought I was going to be an event planner. And local business party people offered me to purchase their company, that they had closed their store and moved home for 2 years. And so I wanted to have their store. I loved their work. And then now on the right is my family 17 years later. And that was at our grand opening celebration for Party People events. So what's kind of been fun for me is this full circle is that I'd always thought that it would be fun to have a store, but I didn't want to run one by myself. But after selling my company to Jonathan and Jonathan Gerber growing the company, we had just expanded our space and not just had the warehouse, but into the retail space that was available to have a storefront for people to come in. It was nice that I could just go in and do my part of the business, and then our staff still went out and did the deliveries and do the takedowns and the setups and all of that. And the thing is no matter if it was when I was just a home-based business working out of my 600 square foot warehouse in my backyard to working at the store for Party People, the number one reason why I am in balloons is I love to see the joy and the happiness that what we do as balloon professionals creates. But what I did not love is back in the day when I was working 80-hour weeks and I was never seeing my beautiful family. The only time my family got to see me is when they were on jobs with me. It's another one of the reasons why I started ballooncoach.com, was to help educate people on how to set up the systems that I wish I would have known about in 2003 when I got it started. So it wants seeing if you tell me a little bit about yourself and somebody's telling me that I'm saying their life story. That's why I share it, because I want people to know that they're not alone in this journey. And that if you're in a situation where you're overwhelmed and working too hard, then it's time to put systems in place where you've got other people helping you out. So when people were asking me earlier about what do you do to help out during the situation of COVID to have people work with you, well, as soon as it's okay to, then if you already had staff, bring those staff back. But if you haven't had staff, there's a lot of people out of work right now who would love to work for your balloon company. A couple of examples are people who were working for a valet company, okay? Think about all of the events companies that had valet drivers go out to valet for events. Those drivers obviously have to have a good driving record because they were driving people's expensive cars. So they could be a driver for you and do your deliveries for you. So sometimes people choose that they continue to build all the balloons, but then somebody else goes and delivers them. Another thing that you can do is teach somebody else how to inflate the balloons, and you still take all the incoming calls, and now somebody else blows them up, and then another person goes and delivers for you. Another way that you can look at it is if you don't like talking on the phone, if you don't like the computer interaction and having to deal with processing the order, you can go ahead and hire an office manager, a virtual person, even doesn't even have to be in where you live. You can have a virtual person answer the phone or take care of the emails and process orders for you. And then you can still be the builder and deliver if you want to. So what I'm looking at for you is I want you to remember why you got into your business. And yes, right now during this transition, we may have to work longer, crazier hours than we had in the past. But to help you avoid burnout, I encourage you to get some systems put into place now. And I heed this warning for anybody who's listening to this that is new to the industry. You are an amazing human, but you're not superhuman. And it's okay to ask for help. So as you grow your thriving balloon business, one of the number one things that makes you a balloon boss, the reason I talk about being a boss, and let me go ahead and take this picture off. Maybe not. Okay, I can't figure it out. So anyway, I know it's hard for you guys to see this. Maybe not because of my green screen. But anyway, it looks like a balloon boss. Yay. The reason I talk about people being a boss is for you to make sure that as a business owner, you put support systems around you. Whether it's you don't like paperwork, so you get a bookkeeper. Whether it's you don't like answering the phone, so you have somebody who's your office manager. Whether you don't like to do marketing, that's me. Jonathan does not enjoy that. So I'm the face of the company. I go to the networking events. During this COVID situation, I've been on I don't know how many Zoom calls with our local businesses and event planners to continue networking online so that we can help each other out as soon as things start going back to normal, right? So you can have inflators, you can have people who do the takedown crew. All of those systems can be there. You just need to make the systems happen. So think about what is your vision for the future. This is Party People Events. This was at our grand opening where we had the hot air balloon out front hanging in the clouds for a photo op. That's one of the props. And then inside of Party People Events, that's the storefront where I was hanging out 6 days a week. And we had a massage therapist come there that day for our grand opening celebration. So when I look at that space, I think about all the wonderful staff that we have and what it takes to have that business run. And so what my vision for the future is to do everything that I can to support Jonathan in his dreams for his business and to keep it growing and running. And I love now being able to be a part of a team and seeing how that team dynamic can work and thrive. If you're currently running the business all by yourself and putting all of the hats on, I encourage you to write a plan of who will be the number one thing. When you look at all the jobs that you do in the day, what's the number one thing that you don't enjoy, and who do you know that can fill that job for you? And contact them and get that help. So for those of you who had asked me earlier on saying that, hey guys, I'm just swamped and I need help with the deliveries, then find somebody to help you with that. So what I want to do is, as you think about your vision for the future, I would love for you guys to type in if there's questions that you have about what I've talked about tonight. The thing is I'm going to show you a couple of things online. I'm going to show you a couple of ideas to keep reminding you about, hey, there's all this wonderful balloon stuff that we do that we can offer our clients. When you're writing your plan, I want you to, number one, think about what do you want your future to look like 6 months from now and a year from now, all right? And we might be willing to do a lot of crazy yard art right now to get through the time, or we may decide, you know what, this rocks and it's awesome, but I just need to have some other people to support me and help me do it. But as you know that temperatures are going to get hotter and the weather not as predictable, think about what are the options that you want to offer your clients, because we sell what we share. And if right now all you're sharing is yard art, then that's what they're going to ask for. So make sure if you're wanting to sell other designs that you're putting them out there for them. And there's no right or wrong answer. How you build your business is totally up to you. And that's the cool thing is I have friends like David Mahoney that he has focused on yard art, and that's what he has done from day one forever. And then there's people like Jonathan Gerber where they focus on the large scale decor. There's not one that's right and one that's wrong. It's just what fits for them. And so you get to choose how you're going to run your business. And so if you guys have any questions about what I've talked about so far, those of you who are on live, feel free to type those questions in and then I will answer them for you. And while I'm waiting for those questions, I'm going to show you a couple of things. I just want to remind you that you've got this, all right? You've got this. Just take a breath and write down what it is that you want, and then look over what you're currently promoting and see if you need to make any changes. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to oops, let me go here. Sometimes my computer goes a little bit slow. So when I go to Instagram, what do I see? I see an outdoor design, but look, this one's indoors. Yay! All right. So we're suggesting some indoor things. So you are going to sell what you share. So look at the designs that are out there and create designs that you don't already have, that you see other people doing, that you want to promote and sell. Now I'm going to go to, just because we talked about it, I want to make sure you guys got it. All right. And so for those of you who haven't been to Balloon Planet before, a great reminder of all the amazing and fun bouquets that you can create for folks. So when you're wanting to have that extra referrals to you, this is one of the ways to do it. And then I'm going to go here and show you something in Balloon Boss Mastermind. So in Balloon Boss Mastermind, this is a program that I have where people pay $97 a month to hang out and have ongoing support and training. They have access to all of my webinar library, but also what I've done is we have albums of different photos that they can use in their marketing. And then some of my members have also put their photos for people to use. And so I just wanted to show you how it was so much fun that Charlene has all of these great designs that she has been doing outside of her shop, so that you've got all the different fun marquees with the helium that can then go into people's houses. But by her having these in her shop, it then gives other people those ideas, or taking the pictures and putting them out on her social media. It lets people know that, hey, here's something fun to celebrate, but it doesn't have to go outdoors. So I wanted to encourage you to, like, you know, even for anniversaries or for milestone birthdays, doing something really classy and fun like this makes it great. So play with your balloons. For those of you who are newer to the industry, get your hands on the balloons, make some designs, and then go deliver it to somebody you know. Get a person in the picture, or just have it like this on a standard backdrop so that people can see what you can create and do. And again, we sell what we share. So the more that we share, the more that they will buy those items that you want to sell. All right, so Balloon Construction Company. This is Belinda Barrier. She's one of our instructors for Summit. And I just really enjoy watching her feed and seeing how that there's different designs. It's not just been the standard yard art. She's even been doing some of the linking designs out there because it's something that she promotes that she's able to do. Now, I'm not saying go out and you have to do this every day, but I wanted to give you guys hope that there's other things out there, and these have been all going on within the last couple of weeks, that there is still corporate work out there to be done. There are still people doing other celebrations where it doesn't have to just be the standard outdoor decor. And I really love these marquees that are very simplistic but look really fun. So I want to just remind you to kind of find your voice. What is it that you want to sell and propose to the industry, to your customers, for you to service them, and then make sure you put it out there. So I am being asked for rigging and building tips for outdoors, like the football goalpost that she made yesterday. So yeah, the number one thing is not everything's made for outdoors. Sometimes you're gonna have to make something with extra supports rather than just one stabilizer in the middle. I personally didn't see the item that you're talking about, but sometimes a goalpost, people just have one pull up the center. So if I was doing it for outdoors, I would make it one that was 2 posts instead, and going off of 2 of my 2 foot by 2 foot steel base plates. So sometimes I have to adapt things a little bit differently than what my client may have originally thought of. The other thing that you can do is you can always put extra poles down to the ground and then just put black duct tape on them to help support something up that even doesn't have balloons on it, because the black sometimes disappears. If you guys have not been to ballooncoach.com, I want to let you know that I have a blog, and you can click on the little eyeglass and you can type in words like resources to know where to purchase your balloons from, or you can do outdoor for outdoor balloon tips. You can talk about from hobby to business to know how to take those steps to get your insurance and things like that. But then you can also go and hang out and check out our trainings that we have going on. And I want to let you guys know that right now I have a special. If you join my Balloon Boss Mastermind program, my first month is just $47. So you save 50 bucks. You have immediate access to all those photos that I talked about in our mastermind, plus videos on how to make the foil flowers, how to make the topiaries, how to make any other designs you ask me for. I'll go and make a video. And then I also have my Balloon Boss Pro Summit coming up in November. And people have been asking me, are you still having that in-person event? And yes, we are fully planning to be there. We think that we're going to have no problem having 100 people in Orlando in November. If for any reason we wouldn't be able to do that, we will turn it into the most dynamic month-and-a-half long online experience ever. And people will be sent their goodie bags and their full color manuals, and then we would still have the trainings with our staff online. But we really feel good that we should be having the event in Orlando. I've been hearing about a lot of other events that are already planned. We have a lineup of 18 amazing instructors that will be there. And the reason I'm letting you know about this is our 6-month payment plan option runs out on May 31st, because at that point, you would be paying me after the event. So if you want to do it on a 6-month pay plan, you need to do it now before May 31st. The best value is to pay in full, and our pricing does go up on June 1st. Anyone who registers to come hang out with us in sunny Florida for our summit, anyone who becomes a mastermind member or already is, or anyone that signs up for my new Balloon Boss Pro course online will get a ticket to a virtual class that I am teaching on the 31st and on June 7th. I'm not able to take my tour around the East Coast this summer like I originally had planned. Last year I went out to the West Coast and had a blast. And so now what's going to happen is I'm going to be talking online to share more tips on outdoor decor. All the people who are attending the event will get to send me a survey of the things that they're needing some extra tips on. And then from there, we're going to talk about our marketing plan and our strategy for the end of 2020. And then we will talk about the goals that you're going to set for your business, looking over where you're at right now with things and making your plan moving forward, and then setting up your goals and your vision for the rest of 2020. I wanted to kind of give you that little bit of a retreat feel and the feeling of having some live interactive training. So we'll actually, instead of meeting in a webinar format, we'll actually meet in a live chat room through a Zoom meeting, so that everybody who's in the class will feel like they're there live with me, and we'll able to open up our mics and have a big conversation. So I'm doing that as a bonus this year. It's a $199 value, and it's a bonus to anyone who is in Balloon Boss Pro Summit, Balloon Boss Pro course, or a part of our Balloon Boss Mastermind program. Our next webinar is on Tuesday, May 26th. That's this week, day after tomorrow. And Chatal and from New Jersey, who has been going gangbusters over the last 2 months, and Sarah Meyer, who was going to be my teacher for Qualitex in Orlando in November. They are both going to share their stories of how they're making their business work during this time and can help you get your business going to the next level if needed. So I'm really looking forward to that webinar. So if you'd like to be a part of that and you're not a part of our membership yet, you can just go on to balloonbosspro.com, click on Mastermind, and you'll be set to go. So guys, I want to make sure if there's any other questions today that I answer those for you. So for those of you who are watching me live, please feel free to type in a question and I'll be glad to answer it. The bottom line I want to remind you about is this is your business. You get to choose what it looks like. Now, yes, I know so many of my friends were overwhelmed having to make the decisions of doing yard art and going after the smaller things right now. But what they're finding is that people start to get competitive. You know, these graduation parties, they're wanting to one-up the person next to them, or in a neighborhood who's having the birthday drive-by parades, they're wanting to do something different and creative for the next person. So you get to choose what you're going to offer your clients, and you get to upsell them when you're talking to them. Don't just assume that because some people in the world do not have income right now that that's everyone, because there's a lot of people that haven't stopped at all. One of my brother-in-laws has been working since day one in the construction industry, and nothing has changed about his life during this. So you want to make sure that you reach out and keep thinking of that abundance mindset, that there are people there that you want your stuff, because we're seeing a huge increase in the balloon industry right now about the amount of people who are asking for our services. So I'm being asked if we have a minimum order. Yes, typically for deliveries, $100 order is our minimum. So right now we're doing that, but if they do like a party pole and a $35 delivery, that $100 that will go out and go for that. And then now that our storefront is open back up, we don't have it for walk-ins, but people can come to the store and pick up items if they call ahead. I know other companies that they've gotten so busy that they upped their minimum so that they wouldn't be as busy, or they are making the same amount of money from less deliveries. So you get to choose what that is and how much you'll work for. But just think about it, like if you're doing a $35 job with no delivery fee, then it's really not necessarily worth your time. You're probably actually losing money. So you get to determine what that minimum is. Most people I know, it's typically $100. Great question. All right. All right. So I'm being asked, what's your best, sorry, that just popped around. What's your best advice for building a business while working a full-time in a non-balloon related job? Lots of vitamins. What I encourage you to do is to set up a plan of action. And Balloon Boss Mastermind, we call it our schedule for success. And I have an outline that kind of helps give you the things that you should work on as far as how to market, how to network, how to grow your business. And so what I encourage people who are working a full-time job is to, number one, understand you're working a full-time job. So you want to make sure that your clients know when you'll be returning their calls, and set up automation as soon as you can. A lot of the folks who came to Summit last year have put up a Balloon Suite website so that they can have easy ordering on their website. And then it can then talk to All Pro Web Tools to be a customer management system so that everything's tied together and very easy for you to do. You don't have to use those actual programs, but automation is helpful. There's other customer management programs called Dubsado, 17 Hats, Manager Sal, and then All Pro is the one that Party People has set up over the last 2 months. And by having your customer management system, it allows you from the very start to be able to easily see who you've been in contact with and to follow up professionally with people. So bottom line is to know it takes time, and that you just have to set up like, how many hours a day am I willing to work my balloon business? Am I able to be flexible with my employer and go do deliveries during lunch? Am I able during my lunch break to call people back? Does my emails tell people, when to expect a call? And just be realistic that you do need sleep. And I know a lot of people who worked a full-time job and then would work insane hours on the weekend and not really get any rest. And as a human, we need sleep. So you just want to make sure that you set that up. And then Belinda Barrier, she shared in her webinar some that, as she grew her business, had other people working for her while she worked a full-time job at first. Now she has an amazing brand, amazing van, amazing buildings, and it's because she reinvested everything right back into her business. And then Karen, if there's anything I can do to help with you, being a part of Balloon Boss Mastermind, it allows you to have access to a lot of our webinars and training and tips from other people. So rather than wasting time making the mistakes that others made, you get to learn from our mistakes and our successes and have a really clear path of how you can grow. Great question. All right. All right. Is it abnormal to seek on-call staff versus offering full-time or part-time positions? Yeah, it's totally fine to have part-time people with party people. The way Jonathan finally set things up is at first everybody was hourly, and then he made some of the people full-time employees. And then in addition to that, he has people who have full-time jobs, and then at the night, they were our takedown crew. the other day, somebody I was talking to, I can't remember who it was, but they told me one of the people who make great part-time employees are off-duty police officers and off-duty firemen, because they know how to get everywhere. So they're good delivery drivers. So that's another person that you can use for that. Um, so great. So guys, we're on an hour now, and so we're going to be wrapping things up. I want to let you know that I'm here to support you in this journey. And if there's any questions that I missed, you can send me an email, joette@ballooncoach.com, or send me a private message, and I'll be glad to answer your questions. And I hope that you just feel empowered to make the decisions for your business so that you can say, okay, these are the things that I really, really like and I want to do. And that you make those items that you put out there for people to know you're doing them, rather than feeling like you always just have to follow along with the crowd with what else is going on. That's really important in this situation. And if you want to join us for Tuesday's webinar, just go click on balloonbosspro.com and sign up before Tuesday. If you want to come join us in Orlando or have any questions about any of my programs, again, you can email me at joette@ballooncoach.com. I'll be glad to do a 10-minute consultation with you to see which program is the best fit with you. And in my mastermind group, anytime somebody asks a question, I'm going to answer it within 24 hours within that Balloon Boss mastermind group. I appreciate you guys being here tonight to hear this information. I hope it was helpful for you. And like I said, if I happen to miss any questions, please let me know, and I will be glad to answer those for you.